Hey Bellingham, happy holidays.
I want to tell everyone have a happy solstice this year.
Merry Christmas, Bellingham.
A message? Everyday Christmas. The meaning of giving is how we learn our love.
Happy holidays, Washington.
Well, happy holidays, happy Hanukkah, happy Christmas, happy Kwanzaa, and Merry Festivus.
Well, hello, little town of Bellingham. Merry Christmas, and I hope you have a little rainbow in your hearts.
Merry Christmas to everyone, and hope you have a happy, safe holiday.
Merry Christmas, Bellingham!
For me, whenever I think of the holidays, I actually think of my latest Christmas. It was kind of bittersweet because my opa, my mom's stepfather, his birthday is on Christmas Eve. And it was really cool. It was the second time I was able to spend Christmas with him and my oma. They live in Sandpoint, Idaho. And it was actually the last time that I saw my opa. He ended up passing away in June of this past year. And it was, June 2 years ago now. It's crazy how time flies. And so 2 Christmases ago, I was able to see him for the very last time. And it was, while I wasn't able to say goodbye to him, I think that it was really cool because it was, my last impression of him was seeing him happy during the holidays, having just beaten cancer, and I think that kind of says what the holidays is all about, spending time with family, and because you never know the last time you're going to see your loved ones.
I have a story from my childhood when I wanted a present so bad. It's all I thought about. The present was the Lego Arctic set. It was an Arctic set that Lego put out just before the holidays. Maybe they put it out in October. And I wanted it more than anything. So in the lead up to hopefully getting it, I took a desk in my room and I painted it blue and white to simulate ice and snow in preparation to put the Arctic set down. And I couldn't wait. I ended up looking in my mom's closet leading up to Christmas, and I saw the Arctic set. And I didn't learn my lesson about that until many years later, that it's not good to expect things. Kind of going through life without expectations is a much more jolly way to go about things. So now I never want a birthday present or a Christmas present, and I've been quite happy.
So this guy is sitting around, he's like talking with me, we're like, his name's Tad or whatever, me and Tad are talking. And he says, what would happen if Santa lost all his elves? What would he do? Right? So what would he do? So I come up with a song, and it's easy for me on guitar. But it's like, what would Santa do? He'd sell everything just to give it to you. You never blew in Santa's kitchen. Well, the house, the car, and the sleigh. Well, he sold them all just to give them away. You're never astray in Santa's kitchen. 'Cause the elves, they all went away to China. Now they sell their trade, and never to be enslaved in Santa's kitchen. So what does Santa do? Well, he sells everything just to give it to you. You never blew in Santa's kitchen. Happy holidays, Joe.
When it comes to this season, I like to think of it as not so much even holidays as maybe they're holy days, and how can we make them more like that rather than buying into all the consumerism of the season and into the capitalism of the season, and how can we make it more of a season that just is really a celebration of love and of families and friends and celebrating the goodness of people.
I feel like Christmas would be better with less consumerism. Like should be more about love maybe than the latest, I don't even know, 8K TV. I don't know. I remember being young and my parents one year gave us like weird antiques for Christmas, which was pretty depressing at the time, but it kind of made me think about it for the rest of my life. Like, hey, Christmas shouldn't be about buying that awesome new gadget. Although I'll take awesome new gadgets if someone has some. Anyway, I don't know. Thanks. Good night.
Solstice, to me, that's what we chose to celebrate as for our family, because there's so many Christmas activities going on all the time that it was really hectic, and there's 4 of us in my family, and we wanted to just have a day that was just for us and just to celebrate the fact that it's going to get brighter again.
Christmas shopping, no more. Christmas making your own gifts forever. Let the gifts come from your own hand and your own heart, not a drop shipment from Amazon.
My dad would literally wait till 3 in the morning to put the presents in there, and I would try to stay up as long as I could, you know, to see Santa Claus. And my dad would wait. He was attuned to that. And then when I fell asleep, he would put the presents under the tree. And then so for me, that was like, I thought Santa was real for, you know, some time. And that was probably the greatest memories.
This is an amazing community, and I love being here, and I'm so excited. And I'm leaving town for Christmas this season to be with my family, but next year I'm going to be here because I want to experience Christmas in Bellingham.
My friends were getting married. My girlfriend has been singing for 30-some years, and her bandmates were getting married. And so I wanted to give them a gift that would last forever. And this is their wedding song. And this is my own personal design I made for them. And this is a cherished gift that I gave to them. Because Christmas, the holidays, life is all about giving. Because you get back what you give. And that's my philosophy.
You want to try Have Yourself? Just start. And if I can come in with harmonies, I will. If not, it'll be just you, which is fine.
All right.
Go.
Have yourself a merry little Christmas. Let your heart be light. From now on our troubles will be out of sight. Have yourself a merry little Christmas. If the fates allow, hang a shining star upon the highest bough, and have yourself a merry little Christmas now.
One year, when I have a twin brother, and one year we opened up, I opened up a present from him, and it was the exact same present that he got me. And so I was like, David, you gotta open your present up. So that was my favorite holiday.
It was, I want to say about 7 or 8 years ago, my mom was shopping downtown Bellingham, and she purchased what she believed was an incense holder and sent it to my cousin down in Tennessee. And on Christmas morning he opened it, and it was a bong. And so she had gifted my cousin down in Tennessee a bong that she had bought in Bellingham. She had no idea, so it was actually a pretty hilarious story that we joke about all the time.
Me and my girlfriend were younger, we didn't have a lot of money, so instead of exchanging presents, we made a box and did all of the wishes that we wanted for the next year, and then the next year we opened those boxes and to see what came true. So that was probably one of my favorite gifts.
A few Christmases ago, my parents got us all matching pajamas, and we took a big family picture and ate food, and we had a good time.
My grandmother lived close by, so we would do the church thing at night, and I always got to open one present the night before, which was always really fun. Our larger, broader family, like cousins and all that, we actually had a really funny Christmas tradition. We all really like figure skating, and Scott Hamilton has an amazing performance to the 12 Days of Christmas, and he does the entire song on ice skates, doing tricks through the whole thing. So we would always watch that as a group, and we would always watch National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
My parents said that Santa was the spirit of Christmas, that you couldn't see him, you couldn't feel him, he was a spirit. And so all three of my two siblings and I all believed that Santa was real. And I wept when my sister said, Jan, he's not really. And it was really hard. And I thought, what do I do for Christmas? This has always been magic. Well, then I found that love is magical. And my parents still loved us. And my siblings usually loved me. And Christmases have always been so special. But there's a mystique and a magic with the spirit of so many different holidays. And Christmas seems to epitomize it because we need it so much.
I just hope as human beings we can make better choices together. Because after food, water, shelter, everything else that we're scrambling around for is all completely man-invented and quite silly. So yeah, I guess world peace is essentially what I'm going for. But it can be even more simple, and we as human beings can bring it to ourselves quite quickly if we just decide to.
We were friends here in college, and we tried to do a Secret Santa, and then it just got getting pushed further and further back, and it became like Secret Valentine's Day. And we talked about doing one this year, and someone's like, no, in January because December's too busy, and I was like, it's gonna be like Secret April.
Yeah. One of my favorite things are like our Christmases we've all had together since we've been in college, and then like after college just our gatherings and decorating and all that stuff.
Didn't last year you had the Christmas tree up in October?
Yeah.
I did, and it stayed up until I think March, and it had like a crab on it.
Yeah, it was sea themed.
We went to Paraguay. Our daughter was in the Peace Corps, and so we went in Paraguay. So we went to Paraguay and just did a Paraguayan Christmas, which was really interesting because they go to church on Christmas Eve in the evening, and that seemed pretty standard. But then they pretty much lock all the kids in with Father Christmas, who is kind of scary there, and they would try to get the candy. He had candy all over him that he was going to give at the end or something, but then they chase him around, so he's kind of like knocking him off. So anyway, the kids come out and then they get candy, and he's a little worse for the wear. And then you go and everybody has a big midnight meal. And so it's this big feast that you don't start till midnight on Christmas Eve, or Christmas morning, I guess. And then they go and dance. And it was just it was a great Christmas.
I remember going to my grandpa's house, and he has a train that goes around the tree. And my brother, who's engineer-minded, would always take the train apart and put it back together. And it would take him a very long time, but he was very smart. And it would come back together, and then it would start going around the tree again. And he was like 7 or 8 years old. It was very neat for me to always watch my brother be fascinated with whatever it is, even if it's the train going around the Christmas tree.
One thing I've really liked about this Christmas is that my daughter came to visit me from Cambridge, England, and I realize how much it means to me to have family and friends around this time of year. So I wish everybody to have a great circle of family and friends during this time.
So when I was a kid, my parents would, on Christmas Eve, would put us in our pajamas, and we would get in our car, and we would have hot chocolate. They would have hot toddies, and we would drive around where we lived and look at Christmas lights. So I didn't necessarily do it on Christmas Eve with my kids, but I have always done that in Bellingham. So when we first moved here, we lived up in the Silver Beach neighborhood,
and we lived by the lake. So one of the most beautiful things of Christmas lights by the lake is that they reflect off the lake. So we would drive around and look at the Christmas lights in the houses, but we'd also look at them on the lake. And then we moved to the Columbia neighborhood, and it's the best walking neighborhood in Bellingham. So we would bundle up whether it was raining or snowing, and we would walk through the neighborhood and look at all the lights with my kids. I love that. And now I live out in the county, and one of my favorite things on Mount Baker Highway when you drive about like a mile out of town is that up on the hill there's this one house that has all these Christmas trees in a row, so that when you're driving up to the mountain or whatever, you just see them all up on the hill. And I love the Christmas lights.
One year I think it was last year when it snowed really bad, we all went into our recycling and got these sheets of cardboard and went up South Hill and went down the other side on our cardboard one morning, and that's one of my favorite.
I think that was the year we built a snowman next to Dirty Dan.
Yeah.
Oh, and it got animated in the news, and no one knew it was us. I was like, love it.
They made him a cat.
Yeah.
Yeah. How long did that take?
I don't know, you guys went and had lunch, and we were still making it when you came out. I think it was almost dark when I finished, and I was like, finally, but I just didn't want to leave it half done.
Oh, the weather outside is frightful, but the fire is so delightful. Since we've no place to go, let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. If it doesn't show signs of stopping, I've brought some corn for popping. The lights are turned way down low. Let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. When we finally kiss goodnight, how I hate going out in the storm. But if you really hold me tight, all the way home I'll be warm. The fire is slowly dying, and my dear, we're still goodbying. As long as you love me so, let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. Let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. Merry Christmas.